All right. Good afternoon and good evening to everybody joining us on this call today. We've got the amazing team from Cowry today, speaking on a groundbreaking collaboration between Cowry and Lipaworld. So without further ado, I think we can start. Quick mic check for you, Dami. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right,
Okay.
I
perfect.
can hear.
Awesome. Great. All right, let's kick off. So for everybody tuning in, firstly, welcome to this Diaspora Connect with Lipaworld and Cowry. The special event is sponsored by the Western Union Foundation as part of the fellowship, and we look forward to really elevating, our partners on the ground, particularly Cowry, and talking a bit more about what they do. And for the diaspora being away from home, many of you may not know Cowry, but today's your day to sort of get well acquainted. So very quickly, this is sort of the webinar agenda for today. We'll do a few minutes with sort of a quick sort of overview of who Lipaworld is. We'll introduce our speakers. We'll do the presentation for Cowry, provide a demonstration for how it works, and we'll leave it up to you for the last bit of the webinar for questions and answers. Without further ado, I wanted to just give you a bit of an overview on Lipaworld. Lipaworld is a digital voucher marketplace that helps African immigrants all around the world to remit essential goods and services back to Africa. So what that means is that you can send goods and services via top-ups, gift cards, and digital vouchers for its intended purpose. These vouchers and top-ups can be sent via WhatsApp, and essentially they can be redeemed at the point of sale, online, and across informal traders in some ways. All this can be done while enjoying low fees and total transparency. We're available in 5 African countries: South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and most importantly for today's discussion, Nigeria. So without further ado, let's please get into our speakers. So today on this beautiful call, we've got Damilola from Cowry, who she represents the company as the head of marketing. She'll be taking us through this innovative solution that's really driving a lot of value and financial inclusion for majority of the market that is the offline market in Nigeria. So I'm very delighted to have Dami on the call with me. Dami was at our Diaspora Connect event a couple of nights ago in New York, which was well attended by the Nigerian community. So just wanted to welcome Dami. Dami, welcome to the call and welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, today's really about driving a bit more education and awareness on what Cowry does. And I'm so delighted to have you on the call, and I'll let you sort of drive the conversation, and we'll make this very interactive with everyone that's on the call. So please, at any given time, let me let some people in from the wait room. Please feel free to answer any questions that you have, and we'll be sure to sort of answer them. So let's get going. More about Cowry. There we go. So Dami, can you see my slide? Let's go into Cowry and Cowry's history. I know the founders, but you'll probably tell us a bit more about them.
Okay. Hi everyone. Basically, Cowry is a product of Touch and Pay Technologies, and Touch and Pay Technologies was founded in 2018 when we saw that there was a problem in the payments sector in Nigeria, where transportation payment sector, where people try to make payments for their buses or their rides, and they have issues with change. People get physical with the drivers, get physical with the downfall conductors, and it was just a whole mess. So we came up with the NFC payments called a Cowry card. At the time, it wasn't Cowry card at the time. It was just like an NFC payment card that we distributed to payment organizations. We distributed to private organizations that wanted to that wanted a way for people, a way for their members to be able to make payments seamlessly. So what we did was we gave them a card that they would top up, they'll fund with some money, and then that the card can be debited with our payment instrument, which is like our NFC device. So this went on and on for a while, and at the end of the day, we were noticed by the Lagos state government during COVID-19 in 2020. And when everybody was, everybody was particular about contactless and nobody wanted to handle cash. So this started with the Lagos State Bus Services, LBSL, and they were using our cards to accept payments from people that were trying to get into their buses. So this went on for like a few months. And Lamata, which is the government regulator of public transportation in Lagos, decided to also adopt the card. And that was how we came up with the Cowry card. Cowry used to be a means of payment in Nigeria. It's called Oweyo, and that was where we got the name from, Cowry. Oweyo means cowry in English. And that is how the brand started and kicked off. Today we have over 4 million users across Lagos. We have over 5 million users across Nigeria. We are in Lagos State, Ogun State, Oyo State. We're about to start in Anambra State, and we're also in the FCT. People use our cards today to board buses, to board the ferries, to board the new intra-city rail system in Lagos. That is the blue line and the red line. Aside from that, people are also using the Cowry card to make payments, at mom and pop stores, get a drink, get some snacks around the bus terminals, around the ferry terminals. Excuse me. And this has really improved the tracking of commuters. It has also improved the movement of cash, because now nobody actually needs to spend cash. Once you have your funds on your Cowry card, you can just tap and go. So yeah, thank you.
Love that. And that's super, super useful. For anyone who's in Nigeria, please feel free to let us know where you're calling in from. And we can really speak about your Cowry experience. That would be nice. Okay. So let's go into the next slide. And I think this is useful, particularly for the diaspora. There's a bit of feedback, but can you hear me still? Okay, awesome. So Dami, maybe take us through sort of your distribution and how well established is Cowry? Because I think for people in the diaspora, they may want to know.
Oh, I wouldn't want to blow our horns too much, but Cowry is very, very, very well established in Nigeria, especially. We are actually looking to expand it to other African countries. We're able to go to Ghana with the help of our partnership with MTN, and we're also moving into Senegal with our partners there. So, but in Nigeria especially, you cannot make public transportation payments without Cowry. You can't mention transportation without mentioning Cowry. We are very, very well established. Today, you cannot take any BRT, any government regulated buses without your Cowry card. Also, we're also partnering with the NURTW, as you can see here, to also enable people make payments with the unregulated bus transport services. So you go to any of the parks, unregulated parks in Lagos, you can use your Cowry card to make payments. Even if you're moving across states, interstate travel, you can also use your Cowry card to pay. Also on our Cowry app, we have a lot of other features and partnerships with other brands such as Lipaworld that would enable the people in diaspora to also interact with the Cowry app and the Cowry wallet. So you can, transfer money. You can send transport fare to your friends and family in Nigeria. So, and then also, we're also partnered with AfriGold, which is a product of NIBS, to also enable people make use of their Cowry cards as a payment card. So just like your MasterCard, your Visa card, we're also working on that to also enable your Cowry card to be able to, make other forms of payment transactions aside from transportation.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And 4 million users across Cowry using the Cowry card in Nigeria is no joke. So
Yeah.
you can be rest assured that, when you're sending those much needed funds back home, they will be used in the right platform for its intended purpose. So very, very excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's talk about and I know you touched on this earlier, around the Lagos bus services. Do you mind maybe taking sort of our viewers more into, an understanding of how it works and how you guys have partnered, because this is amazing sort of partnership.
Yeah, Lagos Bus Services is just one of the operators that we're working with. Lagos LBSL is under the main organization, which is LAMATA. LAMATA is the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority. They are the main government authority in charge of the public transport systems. They are the ones regulating all the bus services. For example, LBSL. I think we have over 30 of those bus operators. So what happens today is the bus operators brings their buses under LAMATA and they get regulated. So all these buses get fitted with the validators, such as the one shown in this picture, this blue machine. So they get fitted with that machine. All their buses get fitted with that machine, and that machine allows people to tap in their card. So everybody, all the passengers get a Cowry card and they pre-fund it with agents around the terminal, or they pre-fund it on their Cowry app. So once the money gets into their wallets or their card, they can tap in and then they can gain access into the bus. So this is very, very significant because now there is significant data. There is, learned data from everybody tapping in and tapping out using the card, and it helps the bus operators to have like important information about their operation, so they know who is taking the buses. They know when they got on the bus. They know when they got off. They know they literally know their customers. We've had situations where people forgot important documents or important items on the bus, and they were able to track them, and the person can say, oh, from my Cowry app, I can see that I took this bus at so time. I can see the number of the bus that I took, so they can track it and basically not lose like important items that they own. So something even happened recently when somebody wanted to prove that they were at a particular place at a particular time, and they came to us to prove that, oh, I was literally on this bus. It was a domestic case between a wife and her husband, and she was able to show that, oh, my husband, look at my Cowry transactions. I was at so location at this time, and I got off the bus at this time. So it's this partnership and this integration is very, very important to daily lives in Lagos, because even people that would normally not have a bank card, people that are not financially included, people that don't have an ATM card or a debit card, they have the Cowry card and they can pay digitally with the Cowry card.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And this really speaks to, the thesis of Lipaworld and why we began this business. Like 86% of Africans in sub-Saharan Africa essentially all live and work in the informal sector.
Yeah.
So this is a no-brainer for many of our loved ones back home who need to get around. And I think, we're very, very, very amazed by the work that you guys have done. Okay, let's go to the next slide. And again, if there are any questions in the chat, please feel free to mention them here. Interesting. Let's talk about connectivity. And I know there was some news on the around the media with the red line, and maybe we can touch on that slightly here. But happy to get your feedback on your partnership with the Lagos State government.
Yeah, just last week, the Red Line Rail was launched, and this is a very important milestone because anybody that knows Lagos, especially, know that Lagos and traffic is very synonymous, and the integration of the rail system, the Red Line and the Blue Line, has significantly reduced that, because now people have way more options to transporting themselves across the city. One of the important features of the Blue Line and the BRT is that, especially the BRT, is that they have dedicated lanes. So if you're taking the BRT, be rest assured that you're not going to be stuck in traffic and you get to where you're going on time. So that is one of the promises of the government to people, that if you are taking the BRT, you're paying with your Cowry card, then you would not be stuck in traffic because there's a dedicated lane that gets you to your destination faster. So connectivity is a very important part of the Lagos State government's plans, and launching the Blue Line Rail, which is transporting over 500,000 people daily, and is making a lot of waves. So the red line is, for instance, especially is transporting people from Yaba. I don't know if people are familiar with these places I'm going to be mentioning. Transporting people from Yaba to Oyingbo to Agbado. These are notorious routes. Oshodi, these are notorious routes. And the launch of the Red Line Rail is very, very it's very exciting because now you don't have to be stuck in traffic. You don't have to, pay excessively to get to where you're going. And then, you can do your business faster because most of these routes, of these destinations are actually business hubs. So there are always a lot of people moving back and forth from these destinations. So and also for the ferry services, a lot of people that live on the island that live on the mainland and work on the island can now move fast because normally if you're going to be taking a bus or you're going to be driving, it's probably going to take you about an hour or an hour 30 minutes to transport yourself from the mainland to the island. But now and what that causes is that people have to wake up very early. People wake up as early as 3 a.m. just to get to their work on time because you don't know what would happen on the road. But now with the ferry services, you literally get to your destination in 45 minutes max, 15 minutes, and you're done. All you have to do is have a Cowry card and you're good to go.
I love that. All you have to do is have your Cowry card and you're good to go. So you've got no excuse not to sort of support your loved ones with top-ups on Lipaworld. What I love about this is that, well, there's two things. One is that we have existing team members in Lagos and Abuja. And I'm really excited about Cowry because, for the most part, when we do get the opportunity to launch our offices there won't be an excuse for any of our team members to be late for the office. So we are ready ourselves as a business will become, Cowry customers because we need to make sure that, our workforce is there on time and can deliver the work, for our community. But number two, I think for me, with respects to your offering, I look at this type of offering that's available in the US, particularly New York, where I'm based. And you mentioned in our live event about the Metro card, and very similarly to what's been built in New York around the Omni card and the Omni platform. I can tell you now it is revolutionary when it comes to travel for many of us on this side of the world. Now you can only imagine what that can do for your friends and loved ones, even your workforce, for businesses looking to support their colleagues to get around town. This could be sort of a game changer. So very, very excited about that.
So one thing we also did is we partner with a lot of organizations to provide cards for their workforce, so they can put in some funds for them. So if nobody has an excuse like your transportation is covered, just fund your Cowry card. The company funds their Cowry cards, and everybody can move themselves around.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, everybody, get your questions in as well. We've got Dami on the line. She's head of marketing at Cowry, and she's here to answer your questions. And no, this is not a support call, so there's no support queries today. If you have any, this is purely sort of information driven sort of chat on anything you'd like more feedback on. All right, let's go into the future. And before I let you go, Dami, it's interesting. The Cowry was well received at our in-person event a couple of nights ago. And one of the first questions that we received was that when is Cowry going to other markets? So with that, I'll leave you as sort of a segue into this next sort of slide around the future for Cowry and what are you guys planning to do?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we currently entered into a partnership with NIBS and Afrigo Card. So we want to take over Africa. We want to be everywhere. We want to enable our motto at TAP is, enabling everyone make payments, make digital payments. So we want everybody to be able to make digital payments, whether you're financially included or not, whether you know how to, use a smartphone, whether you want a bank account or not. We want you to be able to pay digitally, and that is our future. So we see a future where all over Africa, everybody owns a Cowry card, and everybody can use that card to make payments. They can use it to buy stuff. They can use it. They can send money to their friends and family. They can use it for transportation. And one of the things that we actually did, or we're trying to do to achieve that, is we realized that transportation is the main payment transaction that people make every day. It's part of everybody's daily financial transactions. You can't go a day without transporting yourself. You can't go a day without doing something related to transportation. Either you're even if you're buying fuel for your car, or you're paying for a bus, or you're paying for a train, everybody moves themselves every day. And that is why we're using transportation as an anchor to, financially include everybody, to digitally include everybody, make everybody able to make payments. And that is why we've been very successful with that in Nigeria. And we are very, very open to expanding, making it accessible to even, other countries in Africa and the diaspora.
Love that. Love that. Awesome. Well, I guess it takes us to our next sort of exciting moment of this webinar, which is really the partnership and what we're trying to achieve with Cowry and Lipaworld. So I'll take you guys through this next portion of the webinar, and we're delighted to sort of announce, that coming soon, you'll be able to send top-ups to your loved ones or friends or colleagues, Cowry card, directly on the Lipaworld platform in the US, in under 2 minutes. What's exciting about this is that, when I mentioned sort of our thesis around financial inclusion and the informal sector, the underlying sort of objective was always to make sure that, in remitting sort of back home, that your funds are used for its intended purpose. And for us, this is really a no-brainer. And some of the top-up options that, the diaspora will have available are sort of 3 top-up options, $5, $20, and $10. And maybe, Dami, you can sort of speak about those amounts. And I know you touched on something quite powerful at the event around what $10 means, back home. And I don't know, maybe some of us don't have a real appreciation for it with all the Starbucks coffees that we consume, but maybe you can sort of give a bit more color around, what these type of amounts mean to people, back home.
Yeah, so just going back to that, today, $1 is around 1,700 in Naira, and $10 of that will be 17,000 Naira. So just to put it in context, the average Nigerian's minimum wage is 33,000 Naira today. And if you're sending $20 to a Nigerian, which is going to be 34,000 Naira, you're literally sending them their minimum wage. So $20 is a lot of money today in Nigeria. $10, $5 makes a lot of impact in people's lives. So if you're sending someone $10 to cover their transportation for a month, it's going to go a long way, because they're going to be using the BRT, they're going to be using the train, their transportation is covered, wherever they're going, they don't have to worry about, thinking of their transportation fare. And you can imagine what that would do to somebody that is moving around for their business or for their work, for instance. And, it's covered. I'm sure they're going to be grateful to you for the rest of that month. So, and one of the reasons why we made it in such way to be, $5, $10, $20 is, these are dispensable cash that somebody in the diaspora, somebody in the US, for example, can easily send without thinking too much, or without being bothered about it. You can literally send someone $10 to their Cowry wallet, and that $10 will be very impactful to their daily activities. And you can't really go to Western Union to say you want to send $5. I don't think you can. I don't think that even makes sense, because of all the charges that would cover. So this partnership is very, 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 very essential to us, because you can literally impact someone's life with just the $5, with just the $10 that you send to them. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so powerful, and you spot on, for us, again, we really look at this as how the diaspora can leverage their purchasing power. That's number one. And number two is that, at the core of this business is enabling the diaspora to connect directly with SMEs and, public infrastructure on the continent. And I think, when you look at it through that lens, there's a lot of contributions we can make back home by just contributing in this fashion, because it goes directly to the businesses and the people who need it the most. So awesome feedback. And I think unless you've got anything else to add, I'm happy to sort of take it to the next section. Dami,
Yes, please go ahead.
happy? Let's
Yeah.
do it. Well, then I think let's sort of give you guys a quick demo. And for many of you who don't know what Lipaworld is, here's a quick breakdown of how it works and how you guys can sign up. You will be notified, by the way, upon signing up. Once Cowry has become live on our platform, you will be notified, and you'll be able to make those top-ups as soon as that's become available. But you can do this in 6 steps, essentially. It's as easy as that. Visit the lipaworld.com website, sign up, verify your identity, start the purchase journey by going to the Nigerian section, choose the transportation category, add your recipient, and this part is very, very important. Make sure that your Cowry phone number is associated with your recipient's details. Why? We mentioned, making sure that your funds are used for its intended purpose. So if your loved one or your colleague, uses that particular card, you can be sure that that card will be topped up. So it's important you get those numbers correct. Number 4 is that you can browse through a range of denomination and choose which option you want, $5, $20, and $10. What I'm really excited about is a recurring revenue feature as well, which will allow you to actually schedule payments as well in the near future for you to top up that every single time in the month if you'd like. Number 5 is really simple. Proceed to make a payment using your card details. And number 6, as easy as that, your top up is sent to that Cowry card. So you really don't have much excuse to drive value and really help your loved ones back home. All right. So
I just wanted to mention something
yeah.
that part of what you said earlier, because today how we onboard people on the Cowry platform is we just get your phone number and we pull all your details, including your full name and your email, whatever is attached to that phone number. So if you mistakenly put somebody else's phone number or you make a mistake by typing the phone number, it's probably going to end up in someone else's Cowry wallet, or it's just going to end up in limbo. So you have to be sure that you're typing in the correct phone number whenever you're performing this transaction.
Very important. Thanks for that reminder. Awesome. All righty. I think we have a few questions in the chat already, and we're actually moving towards our Q&A session, which is great. Let's have a look. All right. So we've got a question coming in here from Takuzwa, asking whether the Cowry card is as good as an ID card in some way. I'm not sure what your question is on your comment on that. Yeah.
I think most people require photo ID, like your picture on the card whenever you're trying to use it. So not really. Not really. It can only serve as like an access card. So you're trying to gain access to a place, you can tap your Cowry card and the door would open. But as an ID, no, I don't think so. Well, we are actually doing it so we partnered with some institutions, we partnered with some universities, Babcock University, Olabisi Onabanjo University, Vivian Fowler Secondary School in Lagos, and they use it as an identity card. They use it as a school card because the design of the card includes the pictures of the students. It includes their levels, their courses and stuff, and they use this card as an access card across the campus. They use it for ID cards to show that they're students, and they use it to also make payments on campus. So some parents, top up their children's card, and they can monitor how they're spending their funds on that card essentially. So the beauty of the Cowry card is that it can be customized to the organization's needs or whoever is going to be using its needs.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. We've got another question here from Coyote. And this is a long one. I have about 3 Cowry cards attached to my wallet on the Cowry app. I assume I can transfer from my wallet to any of the cards. And yeah, and I hope this is not a support question, but I clicked on the transfer option on the app using the wallet to card, and it says I need to do that at the terminal. I want to clarify if that's how it will be if I have a wallet balance and need to transfer to any of my cards. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. So It's actually a support question, but I mean, I can answer it.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why we make sure that people go to the terminals or the approach an agent before they can transfer from their wallet to their card is because the Cowry card works offline. The Cowry card doesn't need internet before you can tap in and tap out. Imagine you're trying to take a bus that is moving in 5 seconds and the validator is rolling and trying to connect to the internet, and there are like over 500 people on the line. So the Cowry card works offline. So you tap, it takes your details and you go. You tap, it gets your information and you go. It taps, it's a very fast moving payment system. You tap and go, you tap and go. So the card works offline. And before you can make a transfer from your Cowry wallet, which is on your phone, on your app, which is online, to your Cowry card, which is offline, you're going to need an interaction. You need a point to make that transfer. So you can't just transfer from your online Cowry wallet into your offline Cowry card. You need to take it to a device. You need to take it to the machine to tap, and then there can be a connection. The money from your wallet can move into your Cowry card because it is an NFC card, a near field communication card. You have to connect it. You have to, tap it somewhere before that connection can be made. And that is why it is so. But you can also use the funds on your Cowry wallet without going anywhere, without meeting any agents. You can use your scan to pay on the Cowry app. So you don't need to transfer essentially. You can just, scan and then gain your access.
Awesome. I hope that answered your question, Coyote. Thanks for that. And then we got another question from Victor asking what is the maximum amount I can top up for my brother in Lagos? Yeah.
I think that is $20 from the Lipaworld app. But if you're topping up like in Naira, it's 10,000 Naira.
Yeah. And I guess it's a good question because I wonder whether, what would the use case be for higher denominations? In a monthly basis. I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so we have users that top up for their monthly use. So once they get their salaries, they just top up into their Cowry card. So no, sorry. I think the highest amount is 50,000. It was 10,000, but it was increased to 50,000 because we realized that some of our users, they do that a lot. So when they get their salaries, they calculate the total amount they're going to be spending for the month, and then they just move it into their Cowry wallets, and they're good to go. So they know that they don't have to worry about any form of transport payments. They can budget. It helps with their budget and planning, so they don't have to worry about transportation for the rest of the month. So if you're gonna be sending money to somebody for a month, I think the average cost of a bus ticket is around 350 Naira. So if you're going to be multiplying that by the number of days, for example, so let me just do a brief calculation. So let's say 350 multiplied by, let's even say they are moving around every day. That's 10,500. So, and I'm sure that sending them $20 or $10 would cover that pretty well.
Very, very good. Very good. That's very useful. Thank you so much. It's worth looking into as well. I think if there aren't any other questions, is there anything you want to leave, Dami, to the community and anyone watching this restream about Cowry and, I guess maybe something they should be looking out for in the future?
I would say if you're in Lagos, definitely get your Cowry card because based on all the partnerships that we're working on in terms of Lipaworld, NIBS, Afrigo, everybody, we're making sure that Cowry card is going to be like your number one payment, like your number one payment card. Whenever you're thinking of making a payment, you think about Cowry card because it's going to be everywhere. You're trying to buy food from your buka, you're trying to pay for your gas, you're trying to buy groceries, you're trying to send money to your friends and family. The Cowry card is going to be your number one form of payment. So and I would also like to talk to the people in the diaspora that if you have any forms of, if you have any opportunities that you can that can accept Cowry card in forms of access payment, in forms of accessibility in forms of payment, then please reach out to us, send us an email, send us a DM. We would make sure that we are there because we want to make sure that you can send money. We want to make sure that you can reach your loved ones better in Nigeria. So if you have like any business that you think would be great for the Cowry card to plug into, then we are very, very open and we are available for all that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys got the call to action there. Get your Cowry card. I think it's as simple as that. And I want to thank everybody who managed to join the call and who, of course, will be watching this restream. Three sort of feedback and takeaways for me is that, Cowry is really a no-brainer for your family and for those actively living on the continent with those amounts that we've spoken about. It's sort of critical to their livelihoods. So please think about that and how far your $5 can go back home with Lipaworld and Cowry. Number two, I want to thank everyone for really joining. You will be receiving a survey after this call as part of our Western Union Foundation Fellowship cohort. And number three, be on the lookout for future events. I think, we had a very successful New York event with our partners. We may be coming to a state near you. I know Dami might be leaning towards Chicago at some stage, but please sign up to our newsletter, and you'll be sure to receive that information once it becomes available. Awesome. Well, wishing everybody a great day. Dami, thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll speak to everybody soon. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Sì, Bye. I get